Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot. So, South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa just delivered his annual State of the Nation address. And this is the reaction of Ayanda Allie, a former journalist, news anchor, and reporter, best known for being an anchor on E-News. She's now a candidate for Build One South Africa. This is what she had to say on the State of the Nation address.
See, we got exactly what we expected. Big English, reasonable delivery, eloquence here and there, but it is a very empty, devoid of truth and impotent address. Firstly, I have held this microphone that you're holding now, Slee. I've walked through the corridors of Parliament. I can tell you now for free, the ANC government neither has the desire nor the ability to implement anything that the President has had to say. And they are inhibiting good and well-meaning civil servants from doing the same. Where are the bullet trains? Where are the houses of Alex? Where is the smart city? Where is the uninterrupted power supply? And yet the President has the sheer audacity, the gall, the liver, to speak about things like state capture as if they were committed by aliens from out of space. Mr. President, you were the deputy president during state capture. It was you who enabled state capture. It was you who supported it. And even now as we speak, you're aiding and abetting, because those who are responsible for state capture were right there with you in that room. And in closing, Slee, he then speaks about Tintswalo. Well, may God have mercy on her soul. She's living in an RDP house that is falling apart because it was built with inferior material so that politicians can get kickbacks. She goes to a hospital with no doctors, even though there are a dime a dozen ministers in the presidency. She goes to a school with dilapidated infrastructure. Her parents don't have jobs. And don't get me started on NAFSIS, because it has not even paid her registration. And yet children are going through orientation as we speak. So, Mr. President, we are not measuring South Africa against any developed country or even developing country. We are measuring South Africa against its own potential. We are lacking, we are regressing, and it is not because of anything other than the ANC government. Thank you.
Now, if you're confused over what she really is speaking about, these are the points she's referencing to from the President's speech at the State of the Nation address.
Tintswalo and many others born at the same time as her were beneficiaries of the first policies of the democratic state to provide free health care for pregnant women and children under the age of 6. Tintswalo's formative years were spent in a house provided by the state, one of millions of houses built to shelter the poor. Tintswalo grew up in a household provided with basic water and electricity, in a house where her parents were likely to have lived without electricity before 1994. Tintswalo was enrolled in a school in which her parents did not have to pay school fees. And each school day, she received nutritious meals as part of a program the program that today supports 9 million learners from poor families. The democratic state provided a child support grant to meet Tintswalo's basic needs. This grant, together with other forms of social assistance, continues to be a lifeline for more than 26 million South Africans every month. With this support, Tintswalo, democracy's child, was able to complete high school. Through the assistance of the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, Tintswalo attended one of our TVET colleges and obtained a qualification. When Tintswalo entered the world of work, she was able to progress and thrive with the support of the state's employment equity and Black economic empowerment policies. With the income she earned, she was able to save. She was also able to support her parents. She was able to start a family, to move into a better house, and to live a better life. This is the story of millions of people who have been born since the dawn of democracy. Whether people like it or not, this is the reality of many people in our country. Yes, in November last year, now listen to this one. In November last year, Cabinet approved a framework for high-speed rail, focusing initially on the Johannesburg to Durban corridor. The last 5 years have been a period of recovery, rebuilding, and renewal. We have had to revitalize our economy after more than a decade of poor economic performance. We have had to rebuild our public institutions after the era of state capture. We have had to recover from a devastating global pandemic that caused great misery and hardship, that closed businesses and cost our nation many jobs and lives. And we have had to confront and overcome a debilitating electricity crisis that, despite significant improvement in recent months, continues to hold back our economy.